This episode of the What's Happening Delco podcast is brought to you by Delco Meets for Business. Check us out on Meetup, register, and attend one of our fantastic networking meetings, which we meet on the first and third Thursday at the Brick House in Ridley Park, and the second and fourth Thursday at the Upper Crust in Newtown Square. We look forward to seeing you there. What's happening, Delco? I'm Rich Shane, and welcome to the What's Happening Delco podcast. Today, I'm joined by Rachel Roshani of Roshani Photography Lifestyle. Rachel, welcome to the podcast.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Roshani Photography and Lifestyle. What is that?
So, Rachel Roshani Photography. Actually, Roshani is my original middle name. It's Indian. It means light. My married name is Creighton, so that's a little bit easier for you to pronounce. But Rachel Roshani sounded better artistically. And since I am a photographer and I specialize in natural light, it seemed to work better for me for photography purposes. But yeah, I started Rachel Roshani Photography almost 8 years ago, kind of like a passion project, hobby. Outside of my 9-to-5 job. And here I am, like I said, 8 years later with a growing photography business where I specialize in portrait photography mostly. So everything newborn, families, maternity, and also branding as well.
Rachel, what can people expect when they work with you?
They can expect to have fun, I would say. I work with kids very often in the line of photography that I do. With kids and babies comes loud noises, stress. I'm used to it. I have 3 kids of my own. And I always try to make the photography experience as fun and casual and candid as possible. So when someone comes to work with me, whether it be a family for a family session or a new mom and dad for a newborn session, I am always eager to put people at ease, have them have a good time, and just enjoy hanging out with me versus feeling like things are staged or posed. It's really more of an organic experience where I am simply just a friend in the room.
Some of the photography sessions that you've done, are there any things that you've done that are unique or outside the box?
That's a good question. I would say nothing super unique. Like I said earlier, I do also specialize in branding photography. So most of the clients that I have when it comes to brands are female-led or female business owners. I really like to prioritize female entrepreneurs in the space that I've created here. When I do family photography and maternity or newborn photography, I would say every session is unique because every personality is unique. And a lot of the sessions that I do, you never really know what to expect. So when I deliver a gallery, sure, my style may be cohesive or, it may seem streamlined, but when you're getting a gallery from me, it's very unique to my perspective of your family and what your personalities are.
When it comes to branding, what are some of those focuses that you think is important, especially today, for people to express that brand?
I think the biggest thing brands need to promote, and what I always strive to promote with my own brand, is authenticity. So when I am doing branding photography for, like I said, especially female entrepreneurs, I think it's really important to have a session that exudes warmth and natural, just candid personality. And the reason why I say that is because I'm an avid believer in storytelling. And I think that every brand, every person has a story, right? So it's my job as a photographer to help create images that when a potential client or someone in your audience is looking at them, they're like, I want to meet that person. I want to be in that person's space. Because I think that in itself just will help you sell so much more. And I also think that's just also what's on trend now. I think people want to see, again, what the real story is behind a brand or, a business.
How did photography come to you? How did you get started in photography?
Like I said earlier, it was a passion project. I've always been creative, but for years I worked in education out of college. And when I had been working, I felt this sense of loss, maybe I would say. Just a part of me was missing. I felt kind of disconnected from myself. I didn't like that feeling. And I really tried to work on figuring out what is it that is missing from my life right now. I loved my job, but it wasn't fulfilling in the way that I wanted it to be. So I truthfully bought a camera on a whim, like with whatever little money that I had at the time on my not great salary, and spent my evenings and weekends just dabbling. I would photograph families, I would photograph friends, I would photograph sporting events. I basically just tried it all to see what I liked. And what I found was I really gravitated toward capturing people and portraits. And one thing led to another. I started photographing a coworker's child. She liked the pictures. She posted on Facebook. Somebody else contacts her. I like those pictures. Can you refer me this person? The next thing you know, I'm like, am I starting a photography business? So it honestly kind of just happened naturally. And for me, the timing of it was right. I wasn't, like I said, really fulfilled in my job any longer. And I wanted to take the leap to pursue this full time. So that's what I did. And that's how I landed here today.
Rachel, who mentors you? Who inspires you?
So my wedding photographer, Nicole Young, she was actually my first mentor. I fell in love with photography when I got married myself, and she became more of a friend. And when I started this little passion project, Nicole was probably the first person I reached out to who really guided me in the process. And she's based out of Philadelphia, and she was just an amazing, amazing sounding board to help me with figuring out not just the creative side of things, but the business side of things. And one of my good friends now, Erin Ingraffia, she also is a local photographer in Delaware County. She has been one of my very, very dear friends and has been a mentor to me for years. I actually lived in Philly for a long time and moved out to Havertown, kicking and screaming. I did not want to leave Philadelphia, admittedly, but my husband and I decided to buy a house and move out here. And I will say I am now one of the number one recruiters to Delco. So there's like an ongoing joke with our friends that I'm more Delco than my own husband. So, and I'm from New York originally, which is saying a lot. I'm going off on a tangent now, but I say that because I moved out here and really wasn't eager to be here. Erin was one of the first people that I met when I was out here as a photographer, and she totally took me under her wing. And it was just really nice to have somebody who helped me career-wise, but also was a friend. And now I would say that I am always promoting Delco. I love Delco. And I love capturing the families that are part of Delaware County. I just think the population here is so authentic, is so gracious, and fun. I just think it's a really warm, exciting environment. And I've just found that some of the best families that I work with are from Delaware County.
How do people connect with you? How do they find you for photography and lifestyle services?
So for photography, most of my work is on Instagram. I admittedly do not do a ton of marketing. Everything is word of mouth, and that usually comes through social media. So I'm at a point in my career where most of my work now is just repeat clients and referrals. So a lot of my work is a friend of a friend or somebody's sister's cousin, and the next thing you know, I'm photographing an entire family. So if you want to find me, you can find me at Rachel Roshani Photography on Instagram. And I also have a new studio space that I just opened here in Delco, right in the heart of Havertown, which is called the Wildflower Collective. And that is a space where I do photography, studio photography, but it's also a communal space for women. So it's kind of a hybrid space that's new here in Havertown.
And Roshani is spelled Roshani, correct? And what's the address of that studio?
It is 2120 Belmead Avenue. It is right off Darby Road. If you know House Cup Cafe, I am right down the block, and that's where I like to say I spend all of my money. So it's right up the road from House Cup Cafe.
You're out and about and you have a cheesesteak craving. Where are you going for cheesesteaks?
Oh, see, this is okay. I would say this is tough, but it's not. We actually were in the city the other day visiting my brother, and we got Angelo's cheesesteaks for the first time. We had to try it, and it was unreal. But I will say, Delco Steaks is still probably our tried and true go-to. The cheesesteak dip is out of this world. So that's usually our family's go-to.
You are the first to mention the cheesesteak dip on the podcast.
Oh my God. Well, if you are having an event, get the cheesesteak dip. It will be fire for your event.
You've satisfied your cheesesteak craving and you are looking to get pizza for you, your family, maybe for a photo shoot. Where are you going for pizza?
Oh my God. You are asking the self-proclaimed pizza queen over here. Like I said, I'm from New York, so I am a pizza junkie. We used to love Santucci's when we were in the city. So when we're looking to go back to our city roots, and we want to feel like my husband and I used to live in the city and order Santucci's every week. We'll go to the new outposts in media, but we're probably a Picas family, true, like tried and true now. And I was introduced to it when I first started dating my husband. I didn't understand it at first. I'll be completely honest, this whole cheese on the bottom, sauce on the top, but I get the hype and I'm totally bought in. So Picas is our go-to.
Wawa or Royal Farms for your convenience needs?
Wawa, not even a question. Mostly because my kids love it so much. So
you've done a little bit of a description of Delco, but if somebody says to you, maybe from New York, what's Delco? How do you describe Delco to somebody?
So I think this is a really interesting question because where I grew up in New York, I grew up on Long Island. And when I mentioned I was moving out here with my husband and I left Philadelphia kicking and screaming, I loved city life, but I really did not want to leave the city. And my husband was like, Rach, Havertown, Delco is so similar to where you grew up in Long Island. And I didn't understand what he meant at first, but when I did move out here, I started to see what he meant. Where I grew up in Long Island, it's a town called Wantagh. It's right by Jones Beach. It is very community oriented. Your neighbor's right next door. We have block parties. People are out on their driveway all the time. You'd see your neighbor sitting on the stoop. Kids are running around. I grew up running around my neighborhood, and other people on my block were like honorary parents, right? And honestly, living in Havertown and specifically my neighborhood where I live in Paddock Farms area. It is so family oriented. And I think that's what makes Delco so unique is that when people come here, people are passionate, people like to have fun, people are caring, but it's truly a family vibe. And I think you see that a lot with people who are avid Philadelphia sports fans, right? How passionate they are and how fun they are. But also, again, when people need to step up and help their neighbors, happens like that at the drop of a hat, right? It's just so community and family oriented. And I think that's the best way I would describe Delco.
You have friends or family coming in from out of town and you want to give them or take them to having that Delco experience. Where are you sending them or where are you taking them?
Okay, well, I take them to the House Cup Cafe because that's where I get all my coffee. But we also love Havertown Grill. That is right in our neighborhood. We love taking family there. We've been going there for years. And another spot we probably take them to, well, I guess this isn't quintessential Havertown, but Plant Roots in on Brookline is one of my favorite stores in Delco. Gina, the owner, has just created this wonderful little haven in town. And whenever I have friends come visit, I like to bring them there to have them shop and just kind of experience what a wonderful place it is.
Rachel, is there anything we haven't spoken about today? Anything you want the listeners to know more about you or Roshani Photography and Lifestyle?
Sure. So I would really love to talk about the Wildflower Collective and the studio space that I've created here because I'm sure many people, friends of mine or clients of mine who listen to this know my photography story. But the Wildflower Collective is really more of what I am trying to promote and get the word out about here. Like I said, photography now, I feel like I've, been established in the area as I continue to try to grow my reach. But the Wildflower Collective is a new concept, and I'm really, really passionate about helping mothers and families that I meet. So, like I said, when I work with clients, whether it be newborns, maternity, family, I am constantly encountering women who are either in the prenatal or postpartum period. So when I decided to open a studio to do my own photography here and events here, I also wanted it to be a safe space for women. So that is what the Wildflower Collective is about. It's a safe communal space for women in the Delaware County area, where we host workshops. We have photography sessions. We have community hours where women can just come in and use the space when it's open. So if you just need to get out of your house and need a quiet space to work, to read, to listen to a podcast, to, just find time to spend on you. That's what this space is designed for. And photography has been such a gift for me because it has brought me into the homes of so many Delaware County families. And part of me wants to continue that outreach by also helping them, not just providing them beautiful photos. I will also like to help them when they are in times of need. So that's kind of what we are doing here and promoting here at the Wildflower Collective, is helping women and helping them grow.
Rachel, thank you for being a light in Delco.
Thank you.
Thank you for being an advocate, a proponent, and providing opportunity for people to find themselves, discover themselves, to see what you see through your camera lens. We appreciate you being a friend of What's Happening Delco. Looking forward to helping you and seeing what you do to just create that brand of Delco. Now that you have to go out and just shoot that brand of Delco. So appreciate your time today.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Hey, it's Rich. Thank you so much for being a listener to the What's Happening Delco podcast. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to learn more about the people and businesses in our community. I have been a real estate agent for over 25 years, working with first-time home buyers to last-time home sellers. As a listener of the podcast, my gift to you is a complimentary 1-year American Home Shield home warranty. This is for buyers and sellers that I help. If you're looking to move anywhere in the United States, I have you covered with an amazing network of real estate agents. I look forward to hearing from you. My direct line is 215-313-3777, or you can email me at rshaneremax@comcast.net. Oh, by the way, I am never too busy for any of your referrals.